Welcome back to the Gun Dungeon. We are going to be talking about the glorious 1911 today and whether the 45 ACP or the 10 millimeter is better suited for this platform. Now, I know the purists' heads are about to explode right now because I'm even considering such a question. But when you think about the platform, it is a robust platform. It's pretty strong. Steel frames, all, bar stock barrels, slides, all that stuff, which suits itself to a powerful cartridge, such as the 10 millimeter. Now, that's not to say the 45 ACP isn't a powerful cartridge, because it definitely has the ability to be fairly powerful. Now, a lot of 45 ACP, like these little powder puff lead loads I've got here, are fairly soft shooting. They're more of a push than a snap. You hear that said a lot about 45 ACP because it's a heavy bullet going slower. This is a 180 grain bullet going considerably faster. This is a 230 grain bullet moving along under 1,000 feet a second. We'll just say that, probably around 750, 800. I don't know. I don't remember what I chronographed these at, or even if I have, I'm not sure. But I did bring out some fairly stiff-loaded 230 grain XTPs that have got a stout charge in them. So I'm going to compare those with these, which is a stout charge of Blue Dot in this load. Pretty strong little 10 millimeter load. So I'm going to compare the two heavier loads with each other. Now, with a 45 ACP 1911 with a flush fit mag, you're going to get 7 rounds. They make 8-rounders, I know. They make extended mags. They make mags with bigger floor plates for 45. You can get 8 rounds in them, pretty common these days. This one is a 10 millimeter mag, and this is also an 8-round mag. And it is a little extended, as you can see there. It's got the mag well and extended base plate, which this base plate doesn't add anything, just throwing that out there. So typically you'll get one more round with 10 millimeter, just comparing apples to apples. You'll get one more round most of the time. So with that being said, is that a big deal? Not really. So it's more about how the platform handles the rounds, how you shoot the rounds, what the rounds offer, in my opinion. So that's what we're going to get to. So the first thing I want to talk about is the recoil impulse, because the rounds are drastically different. They take two different theories in terminal performance, and they're opposite ends of that spectrum. You got heavy and slow, and fairly lighter and faster. So I've got 3 rounds loaded up here of 10 millimeter. I'm going to shoot these directly in with the camera parallel, and then you can look at the slow-mo and we'll do them back to back and see which one you think, just from visual, it has less recoil, and then I'll tell you what it felt like afterwards. Let's start with the 10 millimeter. So there's the 10. Now we've got these XTP loads, pretty warm little loads. We're going to load this into the 45 and do the exact same thing. Y'all be sure to go over and check out Vetter Holsters. They're a big sponsor of the channel, help me out quite a bit, so y'all get over there and help them out as well. Here's one of their outside the waistband models. Awesome design. They have about any design you can think of. They're also one of the few companies that I've seen making holsters like this with the claw attachment inside the waistband model that fits the Glock 29 and the 10 millimeter versions of the XDMs. So if you have a gun, they probably make a holster for it. Check out Vetter Holsters. And while we're at it, I gotta mention Target Sports. They just became a sponsor of the channel. If you shoot very much throughout the year, their Ammo Plus membership is well worth it. It'll pay for itself in the year's time if you shoot very much at all. So be sure to go check out Target Sports. Their link is below. So there you see it for yourself. Form your opinion on what you think the slow-mo looked like. And then I'm going to go ahead and say that even with the hotter loads, the 45 has a more pleasant recoil impulse. I know the 10 millimeter, this one has a little bit different style. This one's got the bushingless barrel, extended guide, or stainless guide rod, all that stuff. It's a little bit heavier, a little bit front heavier, but even with that, the 45 was more pleasant to shoot with the hot loads. Well, just for the fun of it, we're going to sling some up there, that 80-yard target, 12-inch gone, 45. Ah, missed the last one with the 45. And the 10. Only got 2. That must mean that the 45 is more accurate, right? Well, let's see. Which round do I think is better suited for the 1911 platform? Should it always have been a 10 millimeter 45 ACP? Is that where it's at? And I know you guys are saying, oh, this guy's a 10 millimeter junkie. He's 10 millimeter this, 10 millimeter that. He's going to pick the 10. I think the 45 ACP is better suited for the 1911. And here's why. The recoil impulse is much smoother. It's an enjoyable gun to shoot. And if I'm going to be honest, I'm not using either one of these for self-defense unless I have to, but I have other options, so I don't have to. I like just shooting these just to be shooting a 1911 because I like 1911s to target shoot with. Does that mean they can't be defensive guns? Absolutely not. They have been for years and decades and 100 years. And they serve that role well. But in my opinion, I say that a lot because I don't want to feel like I'm pushing anything on you guys. I think that there are better options these days. Now, one exception to 1911 and it being better suited with a 10 millimeter would be if it was a dedicated hunting gun. Now, if you're going to go deer hunt or something like that, medium-sized game with a 10 millimeter, I think the 1911 in a 10 millimeter is an excellent platform for that. One, because the triggers are generally pretty good on a 1911. You can't knock them for that. They're a little bit heavier than most guns that 10 millimeters are in. Most of your 10 millimeters are going to be polymer frame, striker fired handguns. So you have a better trigger with a 1911 and you're going to have a little bit more weight to absorb the recoil, make it a little bit more pleasurable to shoot there as well. Plus this one has adjustable sights on it. So I think you can really dial this gun specifically in for a good hunting gun. Now, if I was going to have a dedicated 10 millimeter 1911 for hunting, I would probably opt for a 6-inch barrel version, which they're out there, just to get a little bit more weight and squeeze a little bit more velocity out of that round, because you're looking for terminal performance for game. As far as just a standard old 1911, you really can't beat a 45 ACP in a 1911. There's just something about it. It's enjoyable. It can do many, many things. The 10 millimeter is a very versatile round, but so is the 45 ACP. You can push the 10 a little bit harder than you can 45 ACP. And before everybody jumps in and says 45 Super is not 45 ACP. And 460 roll and all that stuff. I understand. You can take a 45 platform and you can make it into a bulldog. I understand that. But 45 ACP in itself is not going to be as powerful as a 10 millimeter. The pressures just aren't there. I understand the case capacity is more with a 45, but if you're staying in SAMI specs of 45 ACP, you're not going to beat 10 millimeter. Sectional density is going to be better for hunting. a whole 9 yards. So with that being said, we're going to go back and say, remember, I picked the 45 for y'all freak out. For y'all freak out on me in the comments, I picked the 45. And it's just nostalgic. It fits the platform well. And I'm not sure why. Like, I've shot some 9mm 45s, and it just don't feel right. It don't feel the same. 10mm feels good. It does have a snappier recoil. And maybe that's why I missed more up there, was maybe I was flinching a little bit, because it does have a snappy recoil. This 45 1911 has a very manageable recoil. It doesn't smack you right in the top of the web of the hand like the 10mm does. So that is where I'm going to leave the video. Let me know what you guys thought down below. And until next time, guys, stay tuned.